Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we're going to take a look at the reopening of the Magic Kingdom. Starting here on World Drive, if you look over on the right hand side, you can see the Cove Resort, which is being built over next to the Swan and Dolphin Resorts in the Epcot Resort area. Now, to enter the Magic Kingdom, you do currently have to have a reservation, and the park is currently open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. As we arrive at the toll here to enter the parking lot, you can see just how slow it is. This is right before park opening. Now, as we start to get close to the parking lot, you'll look over on the left-hand side over where the old Walt Disney World Speedway was. And you can see all the construction work going on there. And if you look straight ahead here, you'll notice all the trams are parked here at the end of the parking lot. They're not currently being used, so when you arrive to the park, you have to walk to the Transportation and Ticket Center. And of course, they do a temperature check before you can even go to the bag check. Your temperature has to be 100.4 degrees or less, and you are required to wear a mask at all times. They do have a couple relaxation stations in the park where you can take them off. Now we're on the ferry boat to the Magic Kingdom, and you can see they have these markings on the ground. These are basically where they have each party stand on the boat. Now that we're inside the park here, we're going to head down Main Street, USA to Cinderella Castle. As we head further into the park here, you can see the new paint job on Cinderella Castle. I believe they started painting it in February or March, and it looks like they're almost done. You'll notice these health and safety reminders they've added to these wait time signs here that remind you to wear a mask, maintain physical distancing, wash your hands often. Now, you are allowed to take your mask off to eat or drink. As long as you're stationary, you can't walk around with the mask off with food or drink. So basically, you just have to find somewhere where you can be stationary to take it off. You'll notice they've drained the water in the moat here around the castle. You can see the lifts down there that lift the painters up to paint it. Now, with the park using a reservation system to get into the park, there are no fast passes currently available. So I'm going to go around the whole park and try to go on as many rides as possible. Starting out here in Tomorrowland, I'm headed towards Space Mountain. You'll notice that the People Mover is still not running. It was down earlier in this year, back in March, when I last visited the park. It looks like they're doing some work on the track and on the pylons on the Monsters Inc. Laugh 4/Buzz Lightyear building as you enter Tomorrowland from the hub, and I'll show you guys that later in the video. You'll see here that Space Mountain had a 10-minute posted wait time.
To participate in this launch. Thank you, and enjoy your flight. Blood pressure, heart valve or neck problems, motion sickness, or other conditions that could be aggravated by this adventure. Expectant mothers should not ride, and passengers who do not meet the minimum height requirement may not ride. Be sure.
Now as we exit Space Mountain here, I'm sure many of you can remember the moving walkway that was here for so long. Still taking me a while to get used to it not being here. And it looks so different when you get here near the end of the ride, of the exit part of it, where it comes out into the store here. We'll take a brief look at some of the merchandise here in the store. One thing to note, all the retail stores have designated entrances and exits to help maintain physical distancing currently. Now, as we look over here at the Tron construction, you can see some of the people mover vehicles are parked here. I will zoom in here on the Tron ride building. You can see where the track comes outside. And we'll take a closer look at the construction for Tron later in the video. We'll look at it from over in the Storybook Circus area. Now we're slowly making our way towards Fantasyland. We're going to head over to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. You'll see that there's a 30-minute posted wait time for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I'd say it probably took closer to 20, maybe 25 minutes to get on. As we get in the line here, you can see some of the barriers set up they have on some of the switchbacks. You'll notice they have all the interactive elements here in the queue turned off currently. And what they do for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is they load park guests into every other row on the ride here. Now we'll pass through Fantasyland here and head over to Frontierland. One thing to notice is the 5-minute wait time on Peter Pan's Flight. This ride, of course, usually has one of the longest wait times in the Magic Kingdom. Now I'm heading towards Splash Mountain. Disney did announce recently that Splash Mountain is going to be rethemed. It'll be rethemed from Song of the South to Princess and the Frog, though no date has been given yet when it will close. You'll see here that the trash cans are propped open so you don't have to touch them, and they have these health and safety reminders on them. You can see here the cast members are disinfecting the ride. I was told they do this about every 2 hours. While I was on the ride, it stopped for maybe about 10 minutes, and my guess is they were disinfecting some of the log flumes that were ahead of mine. Heading over to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad now, you'll see it has a 40-minute posted wait time. This was the longest posted wait time I saw all day at the park. And you'll notice as we get in line here for Big Thunder, they have all these barriers set up in the line with the plexiglass on them. Now we're gonna head over to Adventureland and to Pirates of the Caribbean. You'll see here that it only has a 15-minute wait. As we start to enter the ride here, you'll notice that they have the hand sanitizer I was telling you about here on the right-hand side. You'll notice here as we go to board Pirates that they are loading park guests in the first and last row. Now if you have 3 or 4 people in your group, they will put you in either the first 2 rows or the last 2 rows on the boat. Now we're going to head towards the Jungle Cruise. You'll see it has a 30-minute posted wait time. And one thing you'll notice here while we're waiting in line, we'll get a good view of them disinfecting the ride. If you look really close, you can see they have 3 barriers set up on each side of the boat. There's also one directly behind the skipper. That way there's sort of a protective barrier between each party on the boat.
They're staring at you. Alright everybody, my name is Gianna. I'll be your skipper, your snake charmer, your line tamer, your dance instructor, and if you don't laugh at my jokes, your swimming instructor. Alright, now we're gonna start here. Now up ahead I want to point out this sandstone structure. I only point it out because most people take it for granted. But the African belt, which helps hold up the African pants. And wow guys, take a look at this. Yeah, it's crazy. This pack of lions is protecting that sleeping zebra. Yeah, he looks dead. Tired. Dead tired. But we'll just let him rest. In pieces. Yeah, it's the #1 rule of the jungle, folks. I told them it just could not be done. Looks like they're gonna get the point. In the end. You know, I hate to... Looks like we've stumbled across an ancient Indian elephant bathing pool, so go ahead, take some pictures. They all have their trunks on. Yeah, and you see that coming.
Moving along here, now we're back in Liberty Square, and we are headed towards the Haunted Mansion. And you can see it has a 25-minute wait time. Now what they're doing here at the Haunted Mansion, once you enter the building, usually you go in and you go into one of the stretching rooms, and what you do now is you just pass right through it. You'll see here they have it's already completely stretched or completely opened up, and then they have just a short message that they play.
Now, as they say, look alive, and we'll continue our little tour. Sensitive to bright lights.
With your tambourine.
We'll live happily ever after.
Now we're in Fantasyland, and we're gonna head towards Peter Pan's flight. You can see it now has a 15-minute wait time, which is still incredibly low for this time of year. Now to get in the line, it actually starts all the way back at Columbia Harbor House.
Onto the moving car and watch your step. Please do not lift up on your safety belt.
And from Peter Pan, I'm going to head over to It's a Small World, and it has a 25-minute posted wait time. Now you can see out here in between It's a Small World and Peter Pan, this cast member out here, he's trying to keep all the park guests from getting so close to each other. You can see here at It's a Small World, they are loading park guests in the front row and the last row, just like they did over on Pirates. You can see where it rained while I was on It's a Small World. I'm going to start heading over towards the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh ride, and we'll take a closer look here at the new paint job on the castle. Winnie the Pooh has a 20-minute posted wait time. You can see as we get in the line here, they have all these interactive and play areas closed off in the line. As we move a little bit further in line, you'll notice over here at the cash register there's a plexiglass barrier they have up, and they've installed these throughout most of the park. They're not at every cash register, but they are at most of them. And of course this part of the queue, where it has this honey wall, is closed. Now as we head into Storybook Circus, you'll notice that Big Top Souvenirs is closed, as well as the splash area down there in front of the restrooms near the train station. Taking a closer look here at the construction going on over here on Tron, you get a lot better look at where the coaster comes outside, and you'll notice they have started building a new structure out here. You'll see these beams that are going up, and this is for the canopy that will go over the ride. Now we'll take a look inside the relaxation station that's over here. It's inside the Pete's Silly Sideshow building. This, of course, is usually a character meet and greet area. And you can see there was hardly anyone in here. I think there are only 2 groups of people in here and a cast member. This is one of 3 relaxation stations in the park. The other ones, there's one in the Tomorrowland Terrace, which I actually forgot to film, and there's one on the walkway that goes in between Adventureland and Frontierland, where the outpost is. The outdoor seating area there is where the other one is located. Now I'm heading over towards the Little Mermaid ride, and it has a posted 10-minute wait time. And what they're doing on that ride is basically they're just putting park guests in there in every other ride vehicle.
Kind of familiar. Well, anyway, our Triton got all mad.
Moving along now we're going to start heading back towards Tomorrowland, but we're going to take the longer way to get there. You can see here the low crowd levels in New Fantasyland. You'll notice all the clouds in the sky. It looks like it's about to start raining, but it was actually done raining for the day. Here's the second relaxation station I was telling you about. You'll notice all the cast members standing outside of Pirates here with it roped off. The ride had gone down for just a bit. Now as we head back into Tomorrowland, you can look over here and see some of the work currently going on. They have all these scrims put up on these pylons here on the right hand side on the Monsters Inc. Buzz Lightyear building. As we head into Tomorrowland here, you can see the low crowd levels. It almost looks like we're in the park after it's closed. At this point, there's still several hours left until the park closes. Now as we look over here on the left, you will see that Stitch's Great Escape. It has a sign out here that Stitch has left the building, and Disney did announce that this ride has permanently closed, so it will not be reopening. From here we're going to head over into Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and you'll notice when we get inside the building, the doorway where you would last pass through to go and board the ride has actually been covered. They have redone the doorway in there. I don't know if they did that due to social distancing or if they just made better use of the space they had. When I saw that, I had to do a double take. I didn't realize they had changed it. You can see here on the left where the new door opening is, and once I get on the ride, I pan the camera over to the right here and you can see that the door has been moved down here.
See, what's this like? Stay alive.
Reconnect the fusion cells. Power. I must have power.
Remember, through infinity and beyond.
Yours is master. I will do more.
Mission accomplished, Space Rangers. Head to staff for your various squads. Remember, through infinity and beyond.
You'll notice here at the end of the ride that they have park guests on every other ride vehicle here. And a quick look inside the Carousel Progress Theater, you can see how they have the spacing set out on the seats there. You can see the signs out here in front of the People Mover showing that it's not operating at this time. They do have the social distance markings in the line there, you can see next to the moving walkway, so it's possible it could open in the near future, though it does list on Disney's website that it is closed temporarily. And this is one of the character cavalcades they're doing. This one is with Gaston, Alice, Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh, Mary Poppins, Aladdin, and Tigger. Now, I'm not sure if there's a set time on these character cavalcades, but every once in a while they have them, and they use basically the same parade route as usual, and they're just a lot smaller than the typical parade. You can see here in front of the Aloha Isle Refreshments, they have these signs up to place a mobile order, and they have these QR codes on them that you can scan and just place your order right through there. You can still go and pay with a debit card or cash. And here's another character cavalcade. This one has Meridia from Brave on it, and she's on the horse here. Now here's another new thing they're doing. They have a couple of the bears here come out from the Country Bear Jamboree, which is a nice addition. You can see they have Big Al over here. And to my knowledge, they usually don't have characters up here on these upper levels. They also were doing that at the castle. On the back side of the castle, they would have some of the princesses come out. Now we're heading over to Hall of Presidents. And I believe when the park first reopened, Hall Presidents didn't reopen, but it has opened now. And you'll see here in the theater how they have the seating set out.
One of the agreements that President Sadat and Prime Minister Begin are signing tonight is entitled A Framework for Peace in the Middle East.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. You have lost too much, but you have certainly not lost America.
I can hear you. You listen, the world hears you.
Loving this country requires the willingness to speak out for what is right, to shake up the status quo. That's America.
Now we'll make one final pass through the park just to look at how empty it is. Now it's getting a lot closer to closing time.
Visiting us today. Just a few reminders. Please wear a face covering. Clean your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you.
Heading down Main Street for the final time, you can see just how much the crowds have thinned out. It's really slow now. We'll take a brief look inside the stores. One thing I did notice in the stores is it is pretty hard to social distance inside the stores. A lot of them are smaller. There's just not a lot of area to walk around in. And you'll notice here in, not this shop, but the next one, over here in the Emporium store, that it's pretty crowded. So if you're really wanting to social distance and keep a distance between you and others, you may avoid going in some of the retail stores because it's nearly impossible to keep a distance inside them.
Mickey and his friends spend the day with us here at the Magic Kingdom. Till next time, have a magical life.
Tell us to get out.
Okay, perfect.
As we begin to exit the park, you can see they have some of the characters here on the second story of the train station here on Main Street. Now, if you can remember back to March 15th, they also had characters up there when the park originally closed down almost 4 months ago. You'll notice here that the express monorail back to the Transportation and Ticket Center only has a 5-minute wait time. What they've done on the monorail, there is a piece of canvas that goes in the middle of it. So it's now split into 2 sections where the 2 benches were. Each side is kind of divided off now, so it gives you a bit of a gap between the people on the other side. And what they're doing is they put 1 party per bench. This video ended up being quite a bit longer than I had planned on it being. In the future, I'm going to try to keep my videos with commentary to around 20 minutes. It takes a long time to edit them and then add commentary on them, especially when they are over 40 minutes long. But there's a lot of things I wanted to cover in this video. And the last thing I wanted to show you is the construction going on in the parking lot. You'll remember this area in the middle of the parking lot here was wooded, and I'm not sure exactly what they're doing here. I thought they were just going to level it and pave over it, but you can see they have added a ton of dirt here. I believe all of this dirt is from the Speedway, where the former Walt Disney World Speedway sat, and you'll be able to see that here in just a minute or so. And this will conclude our visit to the Magic Kingdom. The next video I have up will be from the reopening of Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'll also have one for Epcot as well. Both of those will be longer, but all my videos with commentary in the future, I'm going to try to keep to 20 minutes or less. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.